Hello everyone, this is the Cajun Gaming Guild, Little Giant coming to you today, and today we are going to start our next episode in this awesome little game called Astro Colony. Yeah, we're building up a base from the ground up. If you watched the first episode, we made a little setup, a starting setup, I guess would be the best way to put that, with some auto catchers, making me a bunch of plates. So what I did after I ended that video, I stuck around for a little while just to produce enough plates to get some floors going, so we can start this episode expanding our base. Alright, so we're going to go right ahead and get right into it. Load game. Perfect. Yeah, this is where we left off. And we're going to get any new plates that we have. We should have almost 700, so that looks great. And we're going to go ahead and expand this base. So, I have two different types of floors on my hotbar down below. I went and organized my hotbars, okay? So these are all the buildings I'm going to be building mostly. These are like the water buildings, the pipes, the copper wire, the power stations, etc. They're here. And then this is my floors. And I'll put my walls here as well down the road. So, floors. At the start, I'd just like to make a little path coming off of my main base. So we'll make it like roughly 3 wide. And we're just going to come off a little bit. Just enough to separate the two rooms, I guess would be the best way to put that. Then we're going to put this. I could have swore I made that yellow. That doesn't look yellow. Does that look yellow? Does not look yellow. It's weird. This should be like teal and blue, or like some kind of bluish gray. See what that looks like. Oh, that looks better. That definitely looks like the colors I chose. Not necessarily teal, but blue for sure. Alright, so we're going to expand. I would like to have a room. We're going to go with 4 by 5. So this is going to be 5 wide-ish. And we're going to go 4. We might run out of plates. It's a 5 by 5 floor, so it costs me 25 plates, just like it should. You don't get a discount. Each floor tile is 1 plate. 4. I'm gonna need way more plates than this, but this is gonna be a good start for sure. Okay, so this area right here, this is where all of my generators are going to be, and my storage for all the carbon that I'm going to be bringing in from outer space here in a few minutes. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to get that started. All right, friends. So right off the bat, I always put this out a couple from the edge, just so I can separate the two. Over here is going to be where the power generators are going to be. Over there is going to be where all the auto catchers are going to be. All right. So we need to make some platforms. And we're going to also need this. And now I can get rid of this. Like I say, I'm a little bit creative as I play this game. I like to be more creative than not. So I have a plan. All right. I don't like that yellow. I'm going to be right back once I change it here. Actually, I'll show you guys. You might as well see how it's done. So if you click on the floor tile, these are the single ones up top. Okay, the different types. You can have rounded edges, triangular edges. You can have holes through the floor if you want to put them in for your wires and stuff to go through, but it's not necessary because they'll go through the floor anyway. All right. So then what style block do you want? Okay. Over here to the left. I chose this one, and I think that could be why it's coming up more brown than yellow. Okay. I was looking for more like a flat edge, but I don't know. Not loving that pattern. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just not doing it for me. So let's find something else that we like. You know what? I like this a lot. And if you click on duplicate, you can make your own custom colors. Okay. And again, that's up to you to change it, whatever you want to do. and it should change up in the top right. You can see what it's going to look like there, right? We're going to go here. I like this. I still don't find it yellow enough, but it'll do. It'll do the trick. Then up in the top left here, you have to drag this and replace the floor that you want. Okay, so now all those blocks, if I change them, and I'm gonna disconnect my floor here. Oh, it's gonna float off into space. Whatever are we to do? No, not really. There, I like. Oh yeah, I like that way better. Okay. Perfect. There. Now we're going to come here. We're going to go 2 out here on this side. This. That's just to get set up. And this is just for looks here in the middle. It's not even going to be used on this setup. But in the next setup with the iron, you'll notice there's not going to be much space in between anything. I used the whole area, all right? So now that's one part of it. Then we have to extend backwards. So we are going to go ahead and we're going to do this to there. And also, you want to fill in the edge pieces. The reason being is when you start building walls, it does not build on nothing. So if you have an empty space there and you're trying to build a wall, walls are a pain in the ass. So you will not be able to build unless you do that. And I sounds weird, but once you play the game, you'll know exactly what I mean. So I just build it, I set it up that way. And then that way there's no problems down the road. Yeah, this goes here. This goes here. Oh, we ran out of blocks. So we have 194 here. We'll go ahead and snag those. We need a little bit more to finish. We're almost done, but still need just a tiny bit more. Need to go to the edge here. Basically, we need from this point right here, we need 100 blocks, and we have them. We have 130. I'm going to say, I knew it took a roughly 730, 40, something like that blocks. I can't remember the exact number now, but... And if you want to know that number, I'll show you guys here in a moment how you can figure that out. So I'm extending that to there. Extending that to there. This... And this is just for looks, really, and to keep the wires so you don't see the wires. I put those things there. Oh yeah, we need one of these here just so you can see. I mean, honestly, you could just make the whole damn thing. Sometimes the stuff's going to get in your way. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass, as you can see. The asteroids and stuff. Yeah, so I'm curious how many blocks this is. So this is my complete setup for the floor of my power grid. All right, so we're going to see how much this is. And I added one more whole row than I did in the last time I made it. I made it a 5x3, but I just felt like it was just too small. And some of my things were hanging over the edge, and I did not like that. So this time I went one bigger. So I'm curious how it's going to work. So if you click on it, but you have to have this tool on the right hand side of my screen there, that tool, that orange tool that you see. It's like the picker tool. So once you have that selected, you can click on that block over there, all right? And at this point, you can click and drag with your mouse button and just make sure you have everything picked. And you'll see it's all highlighted now, all right? Everything on the floor should be highlighted, and I hope it is. Sometimes, though, it misses stuff because you can see that this is not picked. Why is that not picked? You know what I mean? That should have been picked. Everything else is picked, but a couple blocks. And so there are going to be errors. It's not a perfect game, like most games aren't. There's bugs in every game. So now it looks like everything is picked. Okay? Now if you hold down or if you press the B button, I believe it is. Oh, shoot, we don't have the blueprints yet. Darn. So I can't really even show you that yet, but later on you will be able to do this, just like I have it. I mean, I could copy but you're not copying the actual thing unless you have the blueprints unlocked. You can copy properties of a block, so like a logic block, but you can't copy this pattern unless you have the blueprints unlocked. But according to that, it shows I have 111 objects chosen, but that's going to count these as one object, these 5x5s. So really there are 25. You understand what I mean? So it's not giving me a good estimate of how many blocks, but if you could go into the blueprints menu, it would actually give you the number of how many plates are going to be required, how many copper wires are going to be required, how many belts are going to be required. It shows you everything for the recipe that you have highlighted. So once I unlock that, I will try and show you guys the next time. All right, so this is our floor plan, and it looks pretty neat. It's pretty neat and tidy. And we're going to start now. We need some stuff to build. So we're going to grab the plates. We're going to grab some iron bars. We're going to grab some copper bars. And I don't think we need any more than that. I've been making wire. As you can see, I have 321 made. So that's good news. And we are going to start right away by making all of the grabbers. We might as well get those going right away. But they need to feed into a storage unit. There's no point just having them floating around. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to make one of these puppies. And in order to make this though, we need bars and we need, I think that's copper plates, if I do remember correctly. So we are going to need a few copper plates, which is minor. Let's just look, copper plates and iron rods. So let's go ahead over here and get those puppies made. Okay. I'm going to have to shut down this recipe right quick because otherwise my iron bars are going to come into here and they'll get used up in the plate. I should make some copper plates here though. So let's go ahead and do that because we're going to need some copper plates. We just don't need a ton of copper plates. How many did we need for that? Just 6, I think, right? Yeah, so we're good on copper plates. And we need to make some bars, which means we need to put in some of these plates. We'll put in that many. Looks good. I may have to get some more carbon being made. I changed all 4 of those machines now to iron, just to keep pumping out the plates. But I don't want my power grid to shut down, so I just have to keep an eye on it. Right now, we're looking really good. I'll bring the carbon out of here and pull it into this side though, because we need those iron bars sooner rather than later. So what do we need? 8. Won't take long. So we can work on these though, because these do not require that. We're going to pop this out. What? Okay, that goes there. They're not on yet, all right? But I want them to be catching certain things. Carbon, of course. They will still pull things. They just won't break things down until they have power going to them. So we want carbon on everything here. Everything is, this is a carbon plant. It's a power plant. So we want it to be collecting only carbon. Okay. This one also is going to be aimed the exact same way. Oh, shoot. Wrong way. This has to be turned around so that the electricity is facing this building in front of me. See why in a minute. Carbon, carbon. Carbon. If you do it one at a time right there, then you're sure you're not missing any. All right, so they're all grabbing carbon, except for the very first one might not have pulled carbon. And you'll see that one looks like it never pulled carbon, but there's carbon in it. See? There's copper and carbon. It just doesn't look very carbony. The very first one, I think, pulled an asteroid without, yeah, but it still had carbon in it. Good enough. Okay, so those are all 4 not working correctly yet because they need power to work correctly. All right. But at least they've grabbed their stuff. I know it looks kind of interesting right now, but it's good. We're doing fine. We need plates. We need these iron rods, and now we can continue. So we're going to build a storage unit, and we're going to try and center it the best we can. Actually, we should be able to get it dead center if we're slick about this. We'll go right there. Okay. And we're going to need to bring some paths. Perfect. From here all the way to here. Same on this side. If I can sneak through these asteroids, then we are going to bring it in. Oop. Can't see the arrow. Right in. Right in. Okay. So that's going to transfer all the stuff that these catches, copper, iron, the whole works is going to go in there. But the copper and iron, it's going to be very minimal. And if you want to, that right there, you can use anything in here from anywhere. All right. So let's say you needed to build something using plates. If there's plates in there, it'll just directly come from there instead of your inventory. Now, I know that iron ores and stuff are not, there's no recipes for that, so those will just sit there, but you can use robots to come grab them and transfer them to smelters, for instance, if you want, so you don't have to be bothered cleaning this out. Or you can just come by every couple hours and say, oh, look, there's 300 copper there. Grab them, put them in your backpack, walk over here in 2 seconds and put them in a smelter. It's very easy to maintain the game. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to grab all this stuff here again. We want those copper plates. And we are set up now to gather all the stuff from here. The only thing we're missing now is power, all right? If I was to hook this up to that power grid over there, it would instantly fail because this power grid is going to cost us 4 megawatts per machine, all right? And that is not set up for that size of a power grid. So in order to set up this power grid, we're going to have to do it ourselves. So that's what we are going to do right now. So we're going to go over here and we're going to put down some of these generators. And we're going to go ahead and put said generators. We'll start roughly here. And I don't want it hanging out over the edge either. I did that by accident last time and I don't want to do that. We'll go 2 in. Oh, we're almost out of oxygen. We're dying. See, our health is going down. 5 bars left. That's not good. So your screen starts to flash red. So as long as you're not AFK, you're good. 3, 4, 5. That's what we want. Okay. Now it's not perfectly centered, and if you want to be anal about it, you can be. But this has 4 slots over here. That has 3. So you can't really center it anyway. Alright. So you see what I'm saying? Or actually this only has 2 and this has 3. So it's odd number anyhow, so it's not a big deal unless you're like anal about it. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Okay. So I'm going to leave it like this because I want to be able to get through here at another point in time, and I'll show you when at the time. I'll show you why. So for now, this looks great. We're going to go ahead and we're going to connect these in a pattern. So we're going to need, first off, underneath, so you don't see it. I don't like seeing my wires, okay? I want to put that there. We're going to drag it all the way. I want to be able to see where it's at right there. And then at this point, we're just going to come up, connect them in. Perfect. Looks a lot neater already, friends. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. Right in the center, we're going to go straight across to this side. And because I don't have these ones set up, I'm not going to build them yet, but we can all just set them up. It'll only take a minute. So we came 2 from the side on this side. We're going to run out of iron bars I see. So we're going to have to go grab some of them right quick. We have 17 to steal. We'll steal them. And while we're doing this, this has a lot more room. And I want to set it up centered like, so it looks kind of centered. You can come in a bit though, because you should not hit here. It shouldn't stop like the pathing system for the conveyor belt. It shouldn't interrupt it because of the way I designed it. So we're still good. Okay, that looks A1. That's your power setup for that. Should produce 150 megawatts. Okay, now we're just going to go ahead and we're going to connect all of it together. Then we have to set up the logic, and I'll show you what that looks like here in a moment. I'll be right back once this is all set up with the wiring. Okay, so one other thing I wanted to show you guys, if you look under the floor, you see the symbols of where it's going to connect. All right, so people might wonder, well, how do you know where to connect to? Well, you can see the power area underneath your floor. It makes it easy. Then you just have to go up top and just connect it in that same spot, and it connects right directly through the floor. So if you wanted to make the floor with the hole in it, well, you could if you wanted, but there's no point. And now you'll see that that looks A1. It looks way neater that way. Instead of having wires floating around all over the place, everything is underneath your base, right? Just like that. Now we need to power up all of this stuff over here as well. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to do the whole thing right now. Only have to go so far with this one. We don't have to go this right to here. We're going to come here, connect that. We're going to come here, connect that. We're going to go here all the way to this side. And we're going to do the same exact thing. Perfect. And now we only have, no, that's all. That's all we needed. So we have to still connect the other ones, though. The ones in the front part. And this one here, not so horrible to do. We're just going to come down and connect either side of it. See, that's why that's why I built it like this. So you just have to basically, there's only 3 that you have to deal with. And then this one here, just going to bring it over and in. That easy. There. A little bit hard to manage, but you get it. You'll figure it out pretty quick. Done. Not quite. There. Everything should be underneath good, but you still have not connected the machines. You have to still go on top and put a piece of wire on every one of those symbols to actually connect the machines to the power grid, which only takes a second, but you still got to do it or else they won't work. You might be sitting here thinking, man, his setup sucks. My machines ain't working. Well, it's because you never connected them fully yet. That's all. All right. And done. All right. So now they're all connected, and the best way to test this theory is I have 3 times 4 is 12 times 4, 48. If you hover over this, it should show. Well, it's not showing, and it's probably because there's no actual power going out. So until there's actual power, it'll show. So once we connect the power, I'll show you what I mean. It'll show you that it's consuming 48, meaning there's exactly 4 of those being charged. Or sorry, 12 of those being charged, and it'll show you that each one of these is producing 10. It'll show you that it's producing 150 and consuming 48, meaning you have everything connected up fully. And if you don't see those 2 numbers, well, you made a mistake somewhere. You missed something, all right? And it's for you to go back and take a look, see what you missed, All right. So here, this thing here will spit out everything inside of it. At the moment, there's nothing inside of it. But once you get this all powered up, all that copper, all that iron, all the ice, everything is going to go in here. And when you put an exit conveyor belt, like you saw over there, it'll spit out whatever is not being used. Well, in this thing, everything is not being used because it's just a storage container. So it will spit everything out. And you do not want that, my friends, because it's not going to clog up your machine. It's just, you don't want to be clicking on 15 different things to collect your shit. You want to leave it in here so that you just have to click on one box and pick out whatever you want from it. All right. It just makes more sense, right? So in order to prevent that from happening, my pals, you're going to do this. You're going to put a filter block on the exits, all three of them. And you want to do this before you put conveyor belts. Why? Well, if I was to put down a conveyor belt first, it's going to spit out something onto that conveyor belt. And it could be anything. It could have been an iron. It could have been copper. Well, there's nothing in there right now. I'm just giving you an example because you're going to do this later with storages that might be full. And you don't want it to spit out something randomly. So always put your filter down first. Then you can change it. Okay. Next, I'm going to put my path. Okay. But before I do, I want to modify this so that it's only filtering out carbon. That's all I want coming out of this. And I'm going to show you something. So if you're hovering over this, this is just a little tip. Press the C button. It's going to copy the properties of this block, which is only wanting carbon. Just click the V button. Now it's only filtering carbon, and V button is only filtering carbon. And you can see a picture of carbon in there. So you know it worked. Okay? That's just a quicker way of doing it instead of clicking on it, going through the menu, looking for carbon. All right? It's the fastest way to do it. Now we're going to set up our pathing system. Okay? And I'm going to do them all separately because the design's going to look different for all three places. Okay? So we're going to come out. We're going to come in a little bit. I think if we only come out 2, that's plenty. We're going to come down. And we're going to go straight into here, roughly. Actually, we're going to go straight into here. And, oops. Then from here, about 2 blocks in. I wouldn't say you need to go more than 2 blocks. I think 2 blocks is fine. We're going to go all the way to there. All the way to there. All right. Then you're going to go in to your buildings. Simple so far. And here's the thing. How many, if you want this to work so that you don't have 100 carbon in this one, 40 carbon in that one, 28 in that one, because you have everything all messed up, and you want it to be neat, and you only want it to have so much specific carbon coming in, then you're going to want to set this up exactly how I set it up here. All right. And it's not super difficult. Okay. It's not difficult at all. And I'm going to show you that right now. So basically what's going to happen is there's 5 machines. Okay. When your logic block tells a specific block here that I'm going to put down, and it's the blocker block, because I don't want 1,000,000 carbon going on this side and no carbon going in all the other machines. I need it to be even everywhere so that everything gets carbon. So in order to do that, you're going to use blocker blocks. I need 5 pieces of coal to go in at a time, or 10, or whatever I want to rig it up at. But I'm going to set it up so that when this building here is under 50 carbon, I want it to open up this block and let carbon through. But how much carbon do I want it to let through? Well, I want it to let through 5 carbon. Why? Because I have 5 machines. Or if I wanted to let through 10, I would have to make my path bigger, but I'm not doing that now. I'm only going to let 5 in, and I'm going to show you how to do that so that it works out evenly. So when this block opens and lets carbon through, it's going to start popping carbon through this block. If I was to set it here, well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks before it actually gets in to the building, and that's the building I'm going to read to see if I have 50 carbon in it. All right, it's going to have a sensor on it. So if I let 9 blocks through, that's a huge odd number. Some of buildings are going to get 2, and one building, actually 4 of these buildings are going to get 2, and one of them's only going to get 1 because I had let 9 blocks through. So if you want to keep it even, you want to count 5 blocks away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Meaning the block that this is standing on, it counts as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when it opens up, the carbon sitting here is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then inside there is going to be 6. It's going to close the block, meaning that it's going to let in 4 behind it. All right? And that's what you want. And that'll keep all the rest of the carbon here, and that should work perfectly. All right? Meaning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, meaning there's 4 blocks behind it. And actually, you might want to even set this up one closer now that I think of it at 3. But I think 4 should work. Because there's going to still be a block there before it shuts off. But I think it's instantaneous, so we should be okay. Alright. So we're going to set it up like this and try it. And if it's off by 1, all you have to do is move this block over. I can't remember. It's been a few days since I did this. I know it doesn't sound like much, but I'm 50. Now, another thing that we are going to need, though, is we need the splitter block. And right now, we do not have the splitter block because it is tied up behind the advanced logistic blocks. But it's only 20 regular basic science to unlock it. Well, we have 300-ish. So we can definitely unlock. So some of these you're going to see even further down are going to just require basic blocks. Like the gravity boots. We can unlock them now. We might as well. Docking we're going to unlock. Anything that you have points for, you might as well unlock it, guys. It's free. So now that we have that unlocked, we're going to go set up our splitter block. You're going to want to use this. I've never used the timer pusher block, but I'm sure it has a use. If you want to mess with that, you can. And we're going to go ahead now and we're going to use the splitter block. It's going to be set up like this, that, this, and then I'm going to set it up. I want this to push out 1 block straight ahead and 2 blocks to the left and 2 blocks to the right. 40%, 20%, and 40%. And what that's going to do is, as 5 come through, 1's going to go straight, 2 to the left, 2 to the right, because I have 2 machines on each side. This block, I wanted to not push anything to the left because there's nothing there. I wanted to split it evenly between the forward path and the right path. And the opposite's going to go for this one. So we're just going to set it up like so. And that is a perfect setup now. It should work flawlessly, all right? And the first block will go through. And that means 4 blocks behind it should come through and split up 2 to the left, 2 to the right. And again, I will be able to test that out. Actually, I could test that out right now with carbon. We're going to go ahead and do that before I get everything set up properly. Okay, so we just want 5 pieces, 6 pieces, because I want to see if it's actually going to work. And we have to set up this block as well with the logic. So we're going to go ahead and do that as well. Which means we need the inventory sensor and the decider as well to be unlocked. We don't have that yet. And those are found... Where are they found? Okay, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to unlock... There's still some more stuff that we can unlock with regular science. Hydration, human migration. And here's where our signal blocks are for the other sensors for the logic. So we need that in order to continue. So I'm glad we were able to unlock that with no problems. And now we're going to drag those blocks down. So you're going to need an inventory sensor. You're going to need a decider. And you're going to need a signal cable. Which means I need to have some wire now. But I believe I made some. I thought I had made some of that wire. Apparently not so. So we need some iron bars. We'll look at how many plates we have. We're going to grab those. And take a look here. This is still making iron rods, but we don't really need them. I think we're okay with what we have. We don't need a killer amount of this wire anyhow. So we'll go ahead and make 10 of this. So that'll give us 30 wires. And we're going to be good. That's going to be plenty for now. And we're going to set up our first logic block. So, right off the bat, you're going to need a decider. Doesn't matter which way you have it facing, but it's going to take up 3 spots total. Put the decider there. You're going to take and you're going to put a sensor, an inventory sensor, and you'll see there's a little like wavelength coming out the right hand side. The other one had a wavelength coming out the left side. I'm going to put those so that they're overlapping one another, just like this. And in between, I'm going to put a cable to connect them, just like you see. It's that easy. Oh, we're running out of oxygen. Soon I'm going to be solving that problem as well, so we don't have to worry about oxygen anymore. Now I want to get rid of everything, and I want to pull out my little tool by pushing the right mouse button. And I'm just going to pick and drag these 3 blocks. And I'm going to now, I still don't have my blueprint unlocked. Shoot, I was hoping to do that. Where is blueprints at? Let's go take a look, see if we can't get that unlocked. Blueprints are right here. We need 4 points. How long is it going to take to do 4 points? Not long at all. We're getting to our 4th point here, which is perfect. We're going to go ahead and unlock the blueprints now. Blueprints done. So we have those 3 blocks selected still. I never ever got rid of them. They're still selected. So again, if you want to know how to do this, just make sure your tool's in your hand over there. You're going to click on the first one and you're just going to drag. I mean, you could collect it all if you want, but I don't. I just want these 3 blocks. Hit your B key on your keyboard. Then it's going to ask you, would you like to add this to your blueprint selection? We're going to add it. Then it's going to show you everything in the recipe. Up in the top left, it's showing you, hold on, there's a warning there. It's not a big deal. I don't worry about electric storms. They don't really hurt you. They stun your machines, any machines that get hit by it, for 60 seconds. It's not a big deal. There are storms later, though, that are bad. Meteor storms and shit that can destroy your buildings, those suck. So yeah, up in the top left, it shows you what this costs. It costs you 1 metal wire, iron wire, and 1 copper plate. It's pretty simple. If you back up, you can actually name your blueprint. So this is going to be my logic setup. And there's nothing, if you copied these blocks and they already had a setup on them for specific buildings or for specific resources that they're looking for and being censored for, all the blocks will have that same setup. So I'm just doing this as a basic setup that I can just plop the 3 blocks down and then fix them afterwards. Okay, so now that this is done, we're good. It's there. Now I'm going to go into my construction menu, go down to blueprints. My logic setup is now there. I can drag that into my bar, and now I can make this over and over and over again with the click of a button, basically. Okay, so now we're going to set this up. But before we do, I want to set down the logic block. Well, I don't even have the path set. There's just no point setting those logic blocks down yet. But normally when I do this, I'll make all the paths first, set down all the logic blocks next, and do them all. But for this, because I'm going to edit out that side, I'm not going to show you guys setting up all that. I'm going to set up one, and then I'll set up all that, and then I'll come back and show you everything in action. Okay, so this one here, pick control device. Well, what do I want to control on and off? I want to control this block right here. You can move around till you're not stuck. You can go ahead and move around. Make sure that the target is that. And it'll show you that you've picked that block. And it's off. It's currently off. Okay, and the resource that you're looking for, though, is carbon. So you want to make sure that's selected. This, pick the censored device. Well, I wanted to pick the center one of my furnaces, or my generators. So I'm going to click that. Do I want it to look for energy? No, I do not. I want it to look for carbon. All right. So now both these are looking for the same thing, and they will feed off of one another. So as long as this here senses a number, this one will also change. What I mean by that, if I was to go, well, we need some carbon now because I don't have any. I put it all away. We needed 6, I believe. So we're going to grab 6. So now if I was to put all 6 into here, it's going to use one right away. So I have 5. Now if I click on this, it's showing 5. It's sensing that that machine has 5. This is also showing that the machine has 5. And now it knows, do I turn on or do I turn off? Okay. And now I've just powered up my entire plant with one machine, meaning they're all going to be super slow. They're like 0.8 megawatts, but they're all working and they're all going to start pumping out carbon for a few seconds until that runs out of energy, which is right about now. It's already dead, okay? Because I don't want it to run yet, okay? Now that that is set up, when do I want this block to be on and off? That's the key that you want. So you're going to click on the control device and you're going to edit it. Well, I want this to happen. I want this to kick on. Right now it's off. I want that to be on when I have 50 carbon. All right. And once I have 50 carbon, I want it to turn on. Sorry. So right now it's off because I am under 50 carbon, which is exactly what you want. Okay. So now if I was to have 50 carbon in there, and I could collect 50 carbon maybe. Let's see if I have that. I don't think I have it between the two machines. Actually, I don't have any between the two machines. 11, that's not much. And that didn't power on long enough to actually do anything for me. I could steal from here, I guess. Why not? Just to show you guys. Oops. Actually, I'm just going to take it all. I don't need power over there right this second. It's just for explanation purposes. So if I was to have here over 50 in here, you're going to see now that that is on, all right? Meaning it's working. It's going to block stuff from coming in because I have more than 50 in there, and I want it to stop congesting and stealing from all the other plants. I only want 50 in each of these at any one time, all right? So I'm going to grab them back because I don't want my power system to be on yet. But it is starting to pump out stuff at least now. So you know it's working. All right, so now that we have that set up, it's going to completely control this side of the board. And now we can go ahead. That's off. We're going to put... Now it's letting through the stuff. See? It's completely letting through all of the carbon that it pumped out. It's going to start feeding it evenly, which is what I wanted. So I'm going to let it happen now because I don't need to put any more than that. We can go here and we can crack the rest of the 76 into here as well. So it will just continually feed these machines while this isn't working anymore, right? Which kind of sucks. This is cranking out 50 power. That takes 48 power, and now I can show you that. See how it's saying total consumption 48, total production 50. So I can run all of those with just this one side, meaning everything on the other two sides is profit for the rest of my base to run. So that's why this setup is pretty good. You could probably make it four-sided, but it would be a big pain in the ass because everything on that side would be very congested. And I'm not saying it wouldn't be possible, it just wouldn't be very fun to do. So this works just fine, and all you'd have to do is duplicate this if you want another 100 profit. Duplicate it again for another 100 profit, right? And sooner or later you will get vertical up and down ways to transport items, so you could use that exit right there and get through this area. But right now it would be very difficult to do, right? Because it would make it congested. I mean, you could extend the base that way a couple things, and you could make it work. It's not impossible. It's just I don't need it, so I'm not doing it. All right. So now we're going to allow these to fill up, and now this should be evenly distributing. So this has 16, that has 16, that has 15, that has 17, and that has 16. So it's very close, but it's not perfect yet. And it's because it's filling up quick too. But once it stops, once I have 50, that's when you're going to get you'll have a better idea of if they're evened out or not. Because that's the last thing to get one. So by the time this was 15, this one was already at 17 because that gets the second block. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to wait till it's filled to see if it's actually working properly. All right. So now I'm going to take a few minutes. I'm going to set up the other side, and I'll see you guys in a few minutes. All right, guys. So we have our full setup done. See what it looks like. You'll notice that I didn't go straight in here. So I miscalculated with the amount of blocks I got through my blocking logic block. All right. Apparently, where I had set had it set up, it was letting through too many. So I had to back it up a bit. Now it lets through exactly 10. Same with this setup, same with that setup. So now how it works is whenever it turns on, it's going to let through exactly 10, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 away. So because of when this triggers the switch, it lets through 10 from this distance. All right. So it'll be up to you to figure out the exact distance. If you wanted to go 5, I would have to be right where that block is at right there. And that's not going to work because I need that block there, not the block, not this blocking one. I would need this splitter block. So I just backed it up to 10, letting through 2. So now when you click on it, you should have an even number, 51 in each of these. Right now, as long as it's above 49, so as long as it's 50 or more, it'll be off. It'll let things through. As soon as this number becomes greater than 49, so 50, it will turn the machine on, causing it to block any possible blocks from going through. And that's how the machine's going to work. And this one here is also evened out, so 51, 51, and 51 all the way around. This one's not finished filling up yet because it's the last one that I built, so it's soon getting there. All right, it's very close to being filled. And once it is, it will also shut off, and this will be completely finished. And any extra carbon that I need now from this point on, well, I just have to come here. There's hundreds in there, and it's going to fill up quick. And again, like I say, all this copper ore now, I know I don't have to go searching through all of these machines. I don't have to go searching through all of that. It's here. I come here, I grab everything that I want, leave the carbon behind, and if I need carbon, it's there as well. Now, these machines have been shut off for a little while. So instead of wasting all that setup, I might as well keep making plates, right? Instead of doing that while I'm chatting with you, I can hook it up right quickly. I'm just going to bring this wire over there. Oh, I ran out of wire. Funny shit. So we need to make some more wire with copper bars that I do not have. So I'm hoping I have some here. Shoot. That's not good. And this is not powered up. Oh, well, I can fix that problem. Oh, no, I do have copper bars. What am I thinking, friends? We'll make up what I have. And I'm going to connect that over there. I don't feel like I need any more of these copper plates just yet, though. So I'm going to shut that off. We'll connect this right away so that it starts to work. Oh yeah, we need to go down one, that's right. Yeah, it looks hard. And I don't want it coming out right there next to my cool area. We're gonna bring it out here. And this way. Gonna take you a little while to get used to the controls of this game. Space pulls you up, alternate pulls you down, right? And it's easier to connect wires from a distance, I've noticed. We'll go that way. I'm gonna bring it and connect it in there, but we're going to disconnect this and this because we don't need it anymore. We have enough power. That everything will still be connected how it was. I'm just going to get rid of this, and that. Oh, I took out the floor by accident. Not a big deal. Everything there can stay connected. That's great. There. And that'll just keep running until I don't need it. Sooner or later, this is just going to go away. I just am using it for now. And soon I'm going to set it up so that some of these bars are going into here and are going to be doing automated research. But for now, I need plates. I need to expand because this is not making plates for me. I need a setup for plates, which is going to be in the next episode, my friends. So this is our power setup. Like I say, Click on it. You can see what it's producing versus consuming. 71 it is consuming now because I just connected all of this to it. All right. But that's plenty to hook up our iron setup, which is going to be in the next episode, where it's going to be making plates, it's going to be making bars, it's going to be making everything we need iron. It's going to be set up to do that. All right. But in order to do that, I need a ton of these iron plates for flooring. A lot more than 832. I think I'm going to need probably 1200-ish. So I will allow that to build up. And I will see you guys in the next episode. If you guys don't mind hitting that like and subscribe buttons down below, it's going to help out this channel to grow, guys. So you can see some more games, more tips, more tricks. I will teach you guys what I know, what I figured out. I don't know everything, so if you have comments, if you have questions, just leave them down below. If you have a better way of doing it, I want to know. All right, and we'll see you guys in the next one.